Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now. Alright. Yeah. Pulse has been giving me problems with every single application on my system. I don't know why. I played around with some of the settings and the config for Pulseaudio about a week ago, doing something on Discord, doing Discord audio chat. I was playing around with some of the other Linux YouTubers. We were gaming. We were playing Ballistic Overkill. I was doing it with Big Daddy Linux, DOS Geek, Tux Digital. Played a little Ballistic Overkill with them, and I joined them on Discord, and it took me forever to get chat working in Discord, but I was able to get chat working in Discord, but then it messed up my OBS settings, it messed up sound settings on YouTube, sound settings on Zoom, sound settings on everything else I use. So, anyway, today, another edition of DT Live. This is Thursday, June 21st. I'm doing this stream a little differently, at a little different time than what I normally do. Usually I start these streams 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Central Time here in the U.S. Usually I don't sit down at my computer till kind of late in the evening. I'm starting this stream a little earlier today. Hopefully we get a little bit of a different crowd. A lot of you guys have been complaining that you never get to catch my streams. Also, there was probably not much of a notification for this stream today. I decided to stream about 30 minutes ago, but I don't think it sent out a notification because I didn't get one. So it was weird in the live dashboard and YouTube. Like, it didn't even give me a countdown telling me how many minutes until the stream started or anything. So if you guys got a notification, great. If you didn't, all I can say is YouTube, it kind of sucks. So I'm going to check out some of the chat here. Several of you are already here. Of course, everybody said no sound. And I kind of knew that I might not have sound. So I was actually only going to speak for about a minute. And then I was going to check it out, you know, on the stream. So not a shock that the audio wasn't working. Yeah. Silent Reboot, Terry Love, Ray Lackey, all no sound. Mr. F. Yep. Iquin. I don't know if I've seen you in any of my streams before. If you're new, please tell us. Everybody say hi to Iquin. Big Pod, no audio. MDZ, no audio. Yep. This is now traditional. Yeah, me having audio problems, yeah, it's become a tradition. Used to, I never had audio problems on these streams, though. Now, I always had audio problems sometimes with Zoom, but never on OBS. So, but the last couple of streams, it's been kind of bad for me. Silent Reboot says, oh, I hear the expletives. Yeah, no cursing. You know, I was prepared for not having sound today. Yeah, Tom says, hey, Derek, greetings from Germany. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you. Yeah, Linux says, hi. Tagforen is in the house. He says, hello, dear Derek. The sound is very fine right now. Be different. Don't blame Pulseaudio. Blame Discord. Yeah, I'm blaming Discord, actually. Because I don't know why audio wasn't working in Discord, why I had to change all my settings to get audio working in Discord, which ruined audio and everything else. And yeah, Paul says, I blame Pulseaudio. Steve Gunnick, yeah, says, sup, Derek. How you doing, Steve? TS Texter, greetings. How you doing, TS? Der Merlin, 11:50 p.m. in Germany. Very nice. Glad you could join us. Hope I don't keep you up too late. Donkey says, not gonna miss this stream. Gibran, hello all, 1650 in Mexico. Yeah, so you're in the central time zone as well. So yeah, it's 5 a.m. says Donkey. Just now getting up, huh? Or maybe you were alerted by the stream. SG Rocker, new Linux user here. Only 2 weeks. Congratulations. What distro are you using? Yeah. Tom says he's doing fine. Nothingness. Live after World Cup. Yeah, TS Texter, he's been a Linux user since 2001 or so. Paul, it took me 2 weeks to just mount a CD when I started running Linux. Of course, you know, you can always make the joke, you know, when you first started Linux, you launched Vim, and you couldn't figure out how to exit Vim, so you had to reformat the drive and go back to Windows. So many Vim and quit, how to quit Vim jokes. Yeah, Big Pod. Right now, I wish somebody here would install a new AP so I don't have to watch you on mobile data. Oh, that's me. Yeah, they pushed a new update for Pulseaudio yesterday. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. You know what? That might have been some of my problems today. I was blaming Discord, but if Pulseaudio updated, and I ran an update this morning too on my Manjaro system. So a lot of times when Pulseaudio updates, you know, my old Pulseaudio configs get overwritten, and it does mess things up. So I apologize to the devs of Discord. It was probably a Pulseaudio update that killed the sound. TS Texter, currently enjoying Arco. Very cool. I'm thinking about putting Arco on this new Lenovo ThinkPad that I got the other day. Let's see. I've been a Linux user. Once I had to start administering Windows. Okay, Windows machines. So you're a Windows admin. Very cool, Tony. Gibran, hey DT, have you heard of LBRY? I think it's a good platform to upload videos. I haven't heard of that one. I noticed the other day, though, Blender is putting all their stuff on PeerTube now. I might need to check that one out. Looks like more and more people are starting to check into some of these alternative services like PeerTube and DTube. I mean, there's Vimeo still out there. Yeah, Eric Dubois does a great job with all his scripts for Arco. Hink says, personally a fan of BitChute. Very cool. Booming says, hey, how you doing, Booming? And Tommaso is watching from Italy. Very cool. Installed several VMs of Ubuntu. I put Mint on bare metal yesterday. Awesome. A UK friendly stream? I hope so. I was trying to start it a little early today. Yes, Siva says, I dislike Discord, mainly due to licensing. Yeah. Booming, DTube sucks. Yeah. Yo, DT. Guys, give me just a second here. Sorry about that. I was getting a text message. Might have been important, so. Alright, switch to Linux is in the house. Alright, so a couple of you guys, when I made my video about the Lenovo ThinkPad, a couple of you guys said, well, you know what, the specs for the Lenovo ThinkPad E535, there was never a i7 edition of that ThinkPad. And you guys were right. Actually, I figured that out really before I published that video yesterday. When I got that machine, that new laptop, I immediately installed the SSD drive to it and installed Deepin. I didn't really take a look at anything. I just went ahead and put that drive in, installed Linux, Deepin Linux, and then I made that video saying, hey, here's my new laptop. You guys got to see it pretty much at the same time I got to see it for the first time. Well, after I made that video, shortly after I made that video, I was playing around with Deepin, and I noticed that the graphics drivers were AMD. I was using AMD, the Radeon graphics. I'm like, well, how is that possible if the CPU is Intel? So obviously, pull up a terminal and a LS CPU. It's an AMD A8 processor, which makes sense when you do an internet search. That's what this machine shipped with, was a quad-core AMD A8, 1.9 gigahertz, which oddly enough, 1.9 gigahertz was also the same gigahertz for some of the cheaper i7s. So but this machine has a sticker on the bottom of it. Somebody actually examined this machine. I guess it's refurbished or it was used. Somebody certified it and specified everything about the machine, you know, the RAM, the lack of hard drive, everything, and under CPU, somebody actually wrote Core i7. And then they signed their name to it. I won't mention the lady's name. I don't even know if the lady that wrote that is the person that sold me the laptop. I mean, he may have thought it was an i7 too. I've already contacted this guy. We've had some back and forth. He's apologized for the mistake. But actually, I only paid a $100 bill for this laptop. So it has an AMD A8 quad core. Not a great processor, but not bad for what I'm going to do with it. 4 gigs of RAM. I told him, hey, let's work something out. I want to keep the machine. I already bought a drive and installed it anyway. So this guy runs a pretty large store on eBay, sells a lot of computer parts, and other tech accessories. So I asked him, maybe he could cut me a deal on something else. So I'm gonna work out something with him. I've got other stuff I could buy from him. Maybe I'll buy some RAM from him, see if he'll cut me a deal on a stick of RAM. So all right. So back to the chat for a second. Yeah, Gibran talking about LBRY. It's a decentralized open source app for streaming videos. Yeah. So it's kind of, is it peer-to-peer? Kind of like PeerTube? And Poison X, it's 10:50 p.m. here normally. It's, Let's see, Lamer. Lamer's in the house. How you doing, Lamer? Lamer is the only person I know that is worse at first-person shooters than I am. So. Paul Frederick, when I can't wait for new software, I build a Git tree. Huh. Mr. Elf, I started with Android and Linux. I've never lived in Windows. Very cool. Super Garaja. How you doing, sir? Jonas says greetings. How you doing, Jonas? Okay, any of you guys that want to join me live on camera, feel free to join the Zoom chat. There is a link in the show description. Just click that link. If you already have Zoom installed, you'll join immediately. If you don't have Zoom installed, it'll ask you to install it. So it just takes a minute or two. Zoom is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, mobile. So it's available everywhere. It is not free and open source, but it does work rather nicely. I have looked into some free and open source options. I really didn't like them. I've looked at Jitsi. Don't care for it that much. And for a non-free solution, Zoom. I like Zoom. I don't like Hangouts that much. Discord really wouldn't work for what I want to do. Discord would work great for like live gaming streams, chatting on stream, doing some gaming, but not for this kind of format. So I think Zoom is what I'm going to stick with. I went ahead and paid for the Zoom Pro subscription, so we no longer get that timeout that we had last time. You have a 40-minute timeout with Zoom. After 40 minutes, after 3 people join, you have 40 minutes to stream, and then it kills the meeting. But if you upgrade to Pro, which is $15 a month, which I went ahead and did, because I might do these kind of regularly now, so $15 a month is not bad. So. Alright, a lot of chat I've missed. Sorry guys, hold on a second while I catch up. But yeah, again, anybody that wants to join the Zoom chat, feel free to join. Deepin, what? Yeah. Deepin's not going to stay on this laptop. I just happen to have the ISO from Deepin because I just did the review of Deepin 15.6 like 3-4 days ago. So I had that ISO handy. And I was very excited. I just got the laptop. I wanted to install something on it immediately to see if it worked. So Deepin's not that bad. It's just the mirrors are really slow. It takes forever to install software. So I'm not liking that aspect of it at all. So probably within the next day or two, I'm going to put something else on it. Amiga God says, greetings DT and the rest. Yeah, wondered why people have i7s and 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah, this machine is upgradable as far as the RAM. I could put, 8 or 16 gigs in it. But 4 gigs is probably plenty for what I'll do anyway, especially if it's, it's an AMD A8 processor. I may not bother upgrading the RAM. I won't do any kind of like virtual machines or anything on that laptop. You know, I won't be doing any video rendering or anything. You know, I do all that kind of stuff on my main machine. A laptop is just something to take with me, as long as it gets me on the web, you know. Yeah, Switch says, I can cut you a deal on RAM too. Well, what is this store? A friend of mine needs a good used computer. Oh, the guys, the eBay store, let me check that real quick. Sorry guys, hold on just a second. See if I can pull this up. Alright, the eBay store, the user was Electronics Safe. All one word. No, that's not. Electronics Cafe. All one word. Excuse me. So, I'll type it in the chat. Anyway, he's done tens of thousands of transactions on eBay. He got pretty good feedback, so I felt comfortable buying something from the guy. Although it ended up, you know, something went haywire along the way. This machine being labeled as having an i7 processor, which, in fairness, it is labeled on the bottom of the machine that way. So, and like I said, I don't know if the guy that runs the store, you know, he probably wasn't the one that labeled it that way. Alright, let's see. Yeah, Siva dislikes Discord. I'm not a big fan of Discord. I mean, it does what it needs to do. I find Discord kind of confusing to use, though. It reminds me of KDE, you know. Everything about it's confusing. It's all out of place. Let's see. What do I think of Tox? Hink asked me that. Tox is a decentralized peer-to-peer Skype alternative. Okay. I've never heard of it and never checked it out, but maybe I should. A lot of you guys have suggested me like free and open source alternatives to things like Skype and Zoom and Hangouts. Are any of them any good? Because, you know, the couple I've tried, a lot of people suggested Jitsi to me, and I really didn't. I didn't care for it. I think I'd rather use Hangouts, to be honest, than Jitsi, and I don't like Hangouts. Yeah. Bella says, hi DT, and switch to Linux. How you doing, Bella? Big Pod. I guess you haven't met me, so I'm bad with first-person shooters. So yeah, because I was talking trash about Lamer. Sorry, Lamer. Actually, in Lamer, in his defense, he probably had a bad connection. He probably wasn't on a gaming rig. You know, I should be better on my rig than what I am. I think I was last place every round of ballistic overkill. But I did get a few frags in. Yeah, Lamer, he's blaming his wireless mouse and keyboard. Come on, Lamer. I use a wireless mouse and keyboard too. Yeah, you don't see a Zoom link in the description? It should be in the show's description. Let me make sure it's there. Like I said, YouTube was doing some funny stuff when I was trying to get this going. And you're right. It is showing the wrong description for this video. Well, that would explain the problem. Yeah, this is very weird. I have a completely different description for this show written than what's showing. Like I told you guys, I didn't get a countdown for the show. I don't know if any of you guys got a notification. So YouTube is doing some very, very strange stuff. So I just see if I can change it on the fly. Give me just a second. If not, I'll post it in the chat. Yeah, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea why this is not working here. YouTube is so buggy sometimes. It's a great platform when it works, but YouTube, sometimes it's so frustrating. Because that is definitely, I mean, I'm looking at the live dashboard and I've got a description that I wrote, but you guys watching the stream are saying something completely different. I see the problem. See if that changed it for you guys. Refresh the stream and see if there's a link now. And I'll tell you guys, especially you other guys that do YouTube, what the problem there was, if that fixed it. And it didn't fix it on my end. Okay, so I'm just going to have to post a link. It's not letting me change the show's description here in YouTube. Okay, it just went live. I see the new description. Okay. I'll still post the link in the chat, though. And there's the link. Anybody that wants to join the live chat. So, the problem there, you guys, I know we got several other people that do YouTube videos. Switched is in the chat, and Lamer and several other folks. It does not like angle brackets in show note descriptions, so you can't do, you know, greater than, less than symbols in the show's description. If you do, YouTube ignores it. So, and I don't mean like an opening and closing bracket. I mean just putting one of them in. YouTube doesn't like it. So, all right, back to the chat for a second. Ooh, a lot of chat while I was gone playing with YouTube. Let's see, Mumble. Yeah, I need to check out Mumble. That's one I haven't checked out. I know several of you have suggested me take a look at Mumble. Yeah, install a new distro on your laptop on stream. Well, we could do that. It would be better if I already had the ISO downloaded on a USB stick, though. And the problem with doing that now is I'd have to download the ISO, and that would really make the stream kind of suffer, because it's going to, you know, use my Wi-Fi, the network here at the house. So the stream is not going to be good if I start downloading an ISO. So, yeah, Siva, he prefers Mumble over Discord. Let's see. Yep. Discord is better than Skype. Everything is better than Skype. Skype is horrible. Alright. We got somebody new here. Alright. So it looks like Tomiwa. Hope I pronounced that right. Tomiwa, maybe. If you can hear me, it looks like your camera is working, but it is probably pointed to a wall or something, because it's just a black picture. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to try to join again, Tomiwa. It looked like your sound was working, though. I could hear a little bit of feedback. So, sound is usually the problem with Zoom. It looked like. Feel free to come back. You don't even have to be on camera if you just want to turn the camera off. Yeah, I've got Poltergeist changing things. You're talking about the YouTube stuff, yeah. And if it wouldn't change, I mean, I'm trying to change the show's description, and it's not really giving me an error. Like, at the very top of the page, it gives me this little small message that, you know, those greater than, less than symbols are not allowed in the show's description. But where you're changing the description is halfway down the page. It would be better if that error message was, yeah. Anyway. I guess I probably shouldn't critique the UI here in YouTube. I mean, Google, it's a billion-dollar company. this is how they want their website to work, so be it. Shaston and Tim F. All right, how you guys doing? Okay, Shaston, your audio is not working. You may have to play around with the settings. Okay, Tim, how you doing? Tim, you got audio? Yep, no, you do. You're good. Yep. Yeah, you're fine. And Shaston and Siva are trying to join here. Audio is always the big issue. Shaston is talking, but we can't hear you. So you need to go into the Zoom settings. There'll be a setting for audio input. Make sure it's using the correct audio input. If you have multiple sources, sometimes it chooses the wrong one. Like I have a webcam. My webcam has a mic. I don't want to use that mic because it's horrible. I want to use my Blue Yeti mic, but most of the time Zoom will pick your webcam mic instead of the external mic, that you would rather use. Yep, you're good, Shaston. Make sure to mute the stream in your browser though, so we don't get feedback from it. Very good. Yep. Yeah, it's actually a pretty neat program, Zoom. The problem is, as you figured out, is the first time you join, trying to get sound to work can be a little tricky. Yeah. Yeah. Literally 50% of the people that would join this stream, I guarantee you, they're not going to have sound as soon as they join. It's just like 50% easy, yeah. But I mean, it just, you click something in the settings and to fix it. But it would be nice if it worked out of the box. Yeah. Yeah, Lamer, how's it going? Pretty good. You've been practicing ballistic overkill? Yeah, I wouldn't have played it anymore either after that whooping you got the other night. Wow, the internet was bad. I was on a wireless mouse. I was on a trackpad. All right. Yeah, I'm not much of a gamer. That's why I'm pretty bad at it. So, there actually is a pretty neat free and open source, I guess, Mario clone. At least I remember one a few years back. It was called Super Mario Chronicles, and it was Mario spelled with a Y instead of a I. But it was a pretty neat clone of the old Super Mario Brothers game, the original NES game. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. They are right. Alright, hold on a second. This is Pulseaudio again. Alright, you guys, speak a little bit. Somebody. Alright. Yeah, give us a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can. Yep. And make sure you guys have your stream muted on the browser. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have feedback. Yeah, Yeah, so it's fixed now. So what happened, if you guys were here at the very beginning of my stream, the first minute had no audio, and then OBS has been having some audio problems. Pulse Audio. So we've got somebody that still got their web browser. Make sure the stream is muted. Yeah, mute the stream. Let's see. All right. Yeah, there was a Pulse Audio update this morning on Manjaro. I usually do an update about once a week. I don't update my machine every day, but I updated this morning, and Pulse Audio was one of the programs that updated, and it ruined my settings, so. Hmm? Yeah, could be. But it wasn't a problem before anybody else joined. That's the problem. Yeah. But you're right. It's just me coming through though. No, I think it is a problem with me in Pulse Audio again. It is only me coming through. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm not seeing anything weird in the output of Pulse Audio volume control, so. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're good, Countrified. No, it's still me. Let's see. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. That might have solved it. Let's see. We'll have to wait about 20 seconds. No. Well, this is horrible. Well, you guys feel free to chat while I'm playing with my stuff. Yeah. No, I'm on headphones. Yeah. Well, it's weird. It's only me that's coming through, so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the meeting. No. Yeah. Well, I don't have any browser windows open now, other than like the chat window. I'm not even like viewing the stream, so I'm gonna leave the meeting. I'll see if I can come back. Okay, sorry guys, I could not get back in that other meeting, so I created a new one. So you guys, you ended up getting kicked out of that one. How does the sound sound? Are you getting any kind of reverb with just me being on the stream? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the new link in the chat. So feel free to join. I would appreciate actually if somebody joined. Good. All right, Lamer, how's it going? Let's see if we get any kind of feedback. So yeah, Lamer, you there? No. All right. Yeah, I am not sure what the... Okay. Yeah, this is one of the strangest streams I think I've ever had. That's like, this is weird. again, I'm going to blame Pulseaudio really for all of this, because everything was fine before that Pulseaudio update, and we're not getting any feedback now. So I don't know if that was a problem with me or what was going on, because everything sounds fine now, doesn't it? Yeah. So I don't think, I think I went to all that trouble for no reason. I think it was somebody else in the meeting here. Yeah, but it was weird because I was the only one coming through on his end, if that was the problem. So yeah, it was strange. But everything's fine now. It's starting a new meeting, so. But anyway, Pulseaudio, what I need to do is I need to start saving my Pulseaudio config. So anytime there's an update of Pulseaudio, I can just put my old config back up, so all my settings are correct. Yeah, yeah, Alistair, your sound is a little funny. Yeah, the connection's bad because the video is kind of stuttering and the audio is kind of mumbled. So, and the chat says they still only hear me. So this is Pulseaudio again. Wow, this is. All right. Yeah, I can hear you. The problem is, yeah. But the stream cannot hear any of you guys right now. They only hear me. It is. All right.
Oh.
They should hear you now.
That's, okay. All right. The only other thing I was going to say is you can also manually put another socket into Pulseaudio to specifically hear the people that are going to be on this actual program.
Right.
And that's a little complicated, I know, but
yeah.
It's just
did you have system audio muted or something for the OBS?
Oh, just then? No, it was the wrong output in the properties. If I go to properties for device, it was not using my built-in audio analog, whatever, that it should be using. It was trying to use the Yeti microphone, which doesn't make sense for desktop output for audio. But it was right before, but when I played with Pulseaudio a minute ago, it changed the settings in OBS, and it shouldn't have. So, yeah, that's weird.
Oh yeah, that's.
And now we get that feedback again.
Yeah, you're gonna have. I think you're gonna have to work with a couple of individual sockets or something.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I have the same problem because I record music and I also use OBS a lot.
Right. Yeah. And
you can't activate Q jack control while you're using OBS.
Right. So I'm going to talk for a second, see if there's any more feedback.
Okay.
Because we were getting some again, just me. And wait about 20 seconds. No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay. So AT, what I did was the username AT. I muted your audio. So.
Apologies on that. I've been jumping between devices and I wasn't sure which ones were pushing it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So don't feel bad. I have a Windows machine at home that I got from the family to borrow. Its audio is God as well.
It's not a problem. This stream has been kind of a train wreck from the beginning because of we didn't have audio from the very beginning. So.
Yeah.
But everything is working now. Somebody mentioned make the Pulseaudio config file immutable, so it's no longer overwritten when things are updated. That's a great idea. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Because I've got so much stuff that relies on Pulseaudio that, you know, it just breaks everything when the config file is overwritten.
Also, for what it's worth, pleasure to meet you, and thank you for letting me on the stream.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Now that we I've got that out of the way, what is everybody running? Shaston, what are you running, sir?
I'm running Arch. With
Arch?
Mate, and I'm running a really light version of it. I've kind of mixed OpenBox with it. So like on my top bar, I can either like have like the OpenBox bars, or I can have Compiz or whatever. I just put a little like shortcut to whenever I press a button, it changes and stuff. But it's kind of my own spin I'm working on. I'm actually putting out a spin probably within the next couple of weeks.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's all pro audio stuff, so it's kind of because that's kind of more what I'm into. I'm more into multimedia in Linux than I am anything else. Yeah.
Well, all I know is how to break multimedia stuff in Linux, like Pulseaudio. So.
No, I totally get it. You know, I have a. I mean. Yeah.
And there are people watching that are probably saying, why doesn't he just do Jack? You know?
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, maybe I should. Alistair, what are you running, sir?
Hello. Well, I'm running my Trinity desktop as usual.
Yep.
Trinity,
Trinity, my PC Linux OS. Yep.
That's the what?
Yep. And if you're still a mod on the chat, feel free to drop a link to that website so these guys can check out your distro. And Lamer
would be a good idea. I'll have to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put in the USB.
And Lamer, what are you running these days? I know you were a big Linux Lite fan, but
I switched to Linux Mint 19 XFC.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're on the beta of 19? Okay.
To me, it's actually real stable, but I'm planning to make a video on it when it becomes stable.
Yeah, I'll probably make a video on it too.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with how like Mint and Ubuntu, how stable that turned in last release. Because 16 was a complete abortion as far as I'm concerned. I did not like Ubuntu 16. I just like, you know.
To me, go ahead.
I just stopped using like Ubuntu based anything after 14. I just got sick of it.
To me, the only Ubuntu 16.04 I really liked was Linux Lite 3.8. But after 4, I just got tired of it because to me it got a little too flashy. It's trying to show off the looks of it. But to me, I just didn't much care about it, and I switched to Linux Mint, which to me Linux Mint seems boring and all that. But then I tried 19. I started liking it.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be my replacement of Linux Lite.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with boring. I mean, stable is boring. I mean,
it just trying to get the new users out there, and that's probably the reason I got bored of it, and now I'm using it now.
Yeah. And I've mentioned this a couple of times before on my streams. You know, I've never really given Mint or Elementary a serious look as far as never put them on physical hardware, never try to live in them. Maybe I should at some point. You know, give Mint a spin on one of my real machines, and Elementary Juno when it comes out, if it comes out.
I've never tried Elementary either. I've tried Mint, and I like the feel of it. It's like really stable, but I don't know. I mean, I'm still like the person that hates like going through all the architectures and stuff to download the programs I want to install.
Yeah,
I hate that. That's why I left OS X like 10 years ago.
Do you feel that Mint is safe to use? They got slammed pretty hard with the hacking issue. The core distribution had a virus. I thought I'd kind of stayed away from it because of the safety issue personally.
Oh, right. I mean, I don't personally use it. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's as secure as any other Linux distro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I laughed pretty hard when Ubuntu when their main website got
Right,
hacked.
right. Ubuntu had a hack for their website. I think Mint had their forums hacked. I mean, websites get hacked, but the
No,
distros
I mean,
themselves.
Yeah, but 2 million users had their information hacked.
Yeah, well, that's why it was a target, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the Ubuntu forums is a gigantic forum. I mean, that's prime real estate for a hacker. I mean, they want all those email addresses and passwords and everything.
Yeah, I mean, because you could probably get
No.
credit card information and stuff.
Because like the Ubuntu forums, like their vBulletin forum at ubuntuforums.org is like one of the biggest web forums on the internet. So yeah, that's a target there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they should have, I guess, prepared for that a little better than they did.
Yeah, and the thing is like if you're using it, if you're using Mint for like servers, then that security is probably an issue. It's not really an issue though if you're not using servers because it's just your desktop. All you have to do is encrypt your password.
My apologies, I didn't explain properly. Since the hack where they had their entire website, their keys and everything taken over, I don't consider this because of the large scale compromise, not necessarily the images.
Oh, okay. No, I think I understood correctly. Yeah.
I don't think Mint was ever meant for server, anyways.
No, if you want a server Debian stable, that's what you want to look at. You don't want to. Mint's not a server distro.
Even Ubuntu.
Yeah, Ubuntu server would be fine too.
Yeah, CentOS. I think I actually had a server running on CentOS a while back, and I really liked the stability. It was really impressive, and everything just like worked like a charm. I tried Ubuntu for a server. And that didn't take too well.
Yeah, I've had a lot of like unmanaged web servers, and CentOS is usually what ends up going on those things. If not, Debian is usually. So that's kind of like that's the server distros really is.
Yeah,
Debian, CentOS. Yeah,
that's the distro I'm like the most ignorant on, and it's kind of the same thing. It's the fact that I hate the architecture type setup, because if you choose the wrong architecture for your application, it isn't the same architecture work for each application. That's why I went to Arch. It's just like I just go to Yaourt or go to the Pacman AUR or the Pacman repository, and I just install whatever I want. But,
well, yeah, that's why I'm sticking with a lot of Arch-based distros these days. Is the AUR. It's I hate compiling stuff. I hate building packages from source. If you're on Debian stable, that thing is really old. You'll find something that you need eventually that's not going to be in the repos. Then you got to build it from source. Some of those dependencies that it needs, you might have to build those from source. Then you go down this rabbit hole of, it takes you an hour basically to get this program that you need. Where in the AUR, it's there.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of Slackware in that respect.
No.
Why don't you just go to the main website to download?
I did love Slackware for their stability, but it's just so impractical.
No. Matter of fact, we didn't mention, I guess Slackware would be good for a server too.
Oh, hell yeah, it would. Yeah, in fact, I actually have a friend who set up a server off of Slackware some years ago. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I was actually kind of impressed because I can't hardly get anything to compile on Slackware anymore. I mean, you can get like the main programs usually to like automatically install, but as soon as you need to get something fairly recent like Ardour 5, you'll never get it installed. And if you, like I did a thing where I was messing around with it on a virtual machine, and I got Plasma installed, but it took me like 3 weeks to do it. So it's one of the things where it's totally impractical. It's totally cool. It's just totally impractical. I mean, at that point, Gentoo is more practical than Slackware.
Oh yeah, Gentoo. Yeah, Gentoo's fine, other than the install process. Actually, the install process isn't that bad. Maintaining a Gentoo system is kind of a pain. Seems like things break in Gentoo a lot more than they do in Arch.
Oh yeah, they do if you don't know how to do it. Yeah. If you don't know how to maintain Gentoo, and I don't know how. That's why, I mean, Arch is like the easiest to maintain. I mean, like, I even think a beginner, if they just had like if they just had the heads up, they could probably maintain an Arch system. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, just kind of know what to look for. The only time they're going to get confused is like when you have a GCC update and it conflicts with your Pacman, the Pacman update or something like that. That gets hairy sometimes, especially on laptops.
Yeah. Well, or Grub is overwritten if you're dual booting, or Xorg breaks on you. I mean, other than those things. Yeah.
Well, Xorg never breaks on me. I never really had a problem with that. But I mean, maybe I should knock on wood.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah. And see, I actually use a dual graphics card on my current laptop. I'm actually the one that kind of like figured out how to make it work, because I don't have the shut off in the BIOS. So anytime somebody has a problem, I'm like, oh, just do this, this, and this, and basically you're just basically have to reach Nvidia before you reach Max. That took me 2 weeks to figure out.
Yeah, Big Pod is here. Michael, how are you doing? Is your audio working?
I think so. Can you hear me?
The audio is really low. We can hear you, but just barely.
All right.
So you might want to check the settings in Zoom.
I just installed the software.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting a lot of static and feedback through somebody.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've had some real issues with Zoom this evening and Pulseaudio.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Like, I'm going to have to put a warning when this processes and renders later. I'm going to have to put a warning at the beginning of this video to fast forward like the first 40 minutes. Just ignore, like the first part of this stream. Because people are going to watch it. On some of my other streams where I have these kinds of problems, like I had somebody comment on a video I did 6 months ago. Hey, man, I can't hear you. And he's watching it 6 months after I did the stream, and he's just now I was like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, Michael, we can hear you. It's low, so I don't know.
Is this better?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's better. Now mute the stream on your web browser. Otherwise, we'll have feedback. You won't need to hear the stream on your web browser. You'll hear us in Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely closed the tab, so.
Well, that's fine too.
I'll do it.
You didn't need to watch the stream either. We're all here. So this is going to be the same picture. So only thing is you closed the chat if anybody asked you anything and you wanted to respond to them in chat.
Yeah, I used to keep the Zoom going and the chat going so I can...
Yeah. I usually just do the pop-out chat, and I keep a chat window up, and then I close everything else out, because it just gets in the way.
I'm having issues with the pop-out chat on Firefox.
Yeah, Firefox has real issues with YouTube.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever had that, honestly.
Well, you know why YouTube has problems with Firefox? Google makes their own browser. It's called Chrome. They would prefer you to use that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I refuse to use it, but I know a lot of people love it. So.
Right now I'm on Opera, and this is working really good.
Yeah. Opera's not bad.
Yeah, Opera is based off of Chromium.
Yeah.
That's the reason it's working.
Yeah.
I have Vivaldi installed as well. Vivaldi's not bad if you guys haven't checked it out.
Yeah, Vivaldi.
I have a hard time installing the FFmpeg codec, so like lately, and so I don't have Vivaldi. I do have Vivaldi installed. I just don't have the codecs installed. So like you'd have a just a basically no sound.
Yeah,
that's weird.
I've tried to compile it both from the Pacman repository,
and the AUR.
Yeah.
And
both of them fail, and so I just said, Yeah, you know, it's kind of like that's the one thing that's the gripe I have about about the Arch Linux is like one day it will install and then like 2 weeks later it won't.
Oh yeah,
There
there are packages I install from the AUR, you know, this week, and I'll hop to another Arch-based distro next week, and I'll reinstall it in that distro, and it'll fail.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, 2 weeks ago it was working. Now it's some dependencies missing, or you know.
Yeah, I was having trouble installing.
I've been learning how to alter the package, the
build
package build, and sometimes I can get it too. But I mean, I'm not looking at the actual package in front of me, so I'm not really sure. And sometimes, like, what it is like you'll have like a base install update, you know, which will have like, you know, you have however many packages on your base installation, and when you have that update, well, your dependency was on the previous update, and so it just screws everything up. So
right.
It's kind of like if you were on, you know, GCC 6.8 and they go up to 6.9, and you know, on your depends it's say, you know, GCC 6.8, then it just automatically fails.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of why the package has failed.
Right.
And somebody just has to come in there, and you know, they know a lot more about it than I do, obviously. But
hey, Michael, what are you running?
I'm running Manjaro. Remember,
Okay.
I put that comment on
Yeah.
today. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, you know,
really happy with it so far.
Yeah, I've been very happy with Manjaro since first installing it around the new year. Really impressed with Manjaro, and really not impressed at all with Antergos the other day when I tried to install that thing. That was really one of the most frustrating Linux
What's
installs.
Sí, está bien, yo lo meto ahorita. Sí. Sí.
And if you guys are new to Zoom, there is a mute audio button if you need to say anything, you don't want anybody to hear it. There's also a stop video button. If you do that, it hides your video. So.
I should take full advantage of that when I'm talking to my wife.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because occasionally you will want to do something and you don't want it on video, so hit the stop video.
No, there's probably somebody will, like, you know, tune in and say, hey, geez, you know, there's a foreign language in the back.
Eventually you'll want to pick your nose or something. Yeah, hit that stop video button before you do it.
I feel like the best time to pick your nose is on video, is it not?
Well, it gets more views. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And the next one does not.
The mute audio thing is actually necessary for me.
Yeah.
It's pretty noisy where I'm at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Manjaro, I took a look at Manjaro not too long ago, and I took a look at like 3 of their distros. I was really, really pleasantly surprised.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Is that Alistair?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
We can hear you loud and clear.
They may not be able to hear us, though.
I can hear you guys fine.
Okay, you're good.
Otherwise, I'm Big Pod.
Yep, Big Pod. Yep, we got you.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I tried that Manjaro out. That was I was really, really pleasantly surprised with all the.
Yeah. I mean, if you run through the Manjaro install and then run through the Antergos install, it's like night and day. One of them is clearly so much better. It's right. One you're done in 15 minutes. Another one, you know, half an hour. You're still trying to.
Yeah,
if it works.
Yeah, that's funny how that works, because I used to use Antergos back in the day. That's actually kind of how I discovered Arch.
No.
And actually, I used to build Arch from Antergos or from what's that? Archbang.
Archbang, yeah, that was my first Arch-based distro I ever tried. Was Archbang. That was years ago.
I loved Archbang. I know a lot of people didn't, but
it's still around, but it doesn't seem very popular. It was kind of popular, I guess, back when Crunchbang was around, before Crunchbang died. But yeah, nobody really talks about Archbang anymore.
No, I used to make my Arch system off of it because I was scared to death to try to install it from the command line, and so
I used to use it for an Arch install because I was going to install OpenBox anyway, so it made sense, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can install everything you can install on Arch. You can install on.
Oh yeah, you could put KDE on it if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty special. Like that was, and I got the idea because I used to watch Spatry, and that's how he used to install Arch Linux. And so, like, he did a video, and I was like, why don't I give that a try?
Well, that was before that we had so many of these easy Arch installers. Now there's so many of these easy installs available for Arch Linux.
Yeah, and they got like tons and tons of tutorials. And when I started using Arch, there was no tutorial.
No,
not really. Yeah. And
the install has changed a little bit over the years too. It seems like if you go a couple of years between each Arch install that you do, you notice it's not the exact same process that you did before that you did,
No, it isn't. And they make changes all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's gotten better because it is faster now to install Arch than when I tried it, for the first time, 8-10 years ago. Now, if you read that Arch install wiki, that thing is like 2 pages long.
Yeah.
Like you scroll down one time, you're at the end.
Yeah.
And, it's crazy how fast that install. I mean, yeah, you have to do some stuff in the terminal at the command line, but it is not a very long install to get the base Arch install.
You remember when they still were using sysvinit?
Yep.
That was a real interesting install, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Oh, God.
And I guess, speaking of that, when they moved to systemd, I guess, like Archbang, aren't they still on sysv, or did they move to OpenRC? I know they didn't go to
OpenRC, I think. Or
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange so many people argue about the init system. I mean, if it boots, okay, whatever,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get mad and fork a distro because they switched to an init system that I'm not comfortable with. So.
Yeah, and like systemd is like the easiest like system to work with. And I mean, OpenRC and Runit are pretty cool too. And I think sysvinit's pretty much the same anyway. I mean, they're all like, they all pretty much work really similarly. So it's not a big enough difference to be crying over spilt milk.
Yeah, it really isn't. The old Upstart init was good too.
One of my machines, the build machine that I use will not boot any distro, not Fedora, not Debian, not Ubuntu, Mint, you name them, will not boot it. It will come to it and I'll have an instant kernel panic, no matter. Any system V or OpenRC, as you said, that'll boot just fine on it. It's happy. The moment you see systemd, no, instant crash. Doesn't matter which distro I try to put on that machine, just won't have it.
So every single distro that uses systemd, it just won't boot it?
Won't boot it at all. Boot the kernel, and once it gets to starting in it, boom,
it panics. Yeah.
That's a hardware issue.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, you would think, but it's hard to say.
Well, I remember I had a laptop that wouldn't install Ubuntu one time, so I know it's a hardware issue.
Could be.
I mean, at 3 gigabytes of RAM, and it still wouldn't install Ubuntu. I mean, I couldn't run Ubuntu. Like, I never could figure it out. I could run anything else. I just could not run Ubuntu.
Yeah, that's weird. And he's getting a kernel panic. So there's something seriously wrong with the init system if it's throwing up that kernel panic.
Just will not have it. Do not know why.
Wait a minute. You know what?
Yeah, strangely enough, in MX,
what's your grub saying? What does your grub say? Because if you like if you're doing like what is it? Let me see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give you.
Well, this will be off the live medium. I can't even boot the live medium office.
No, but can you like press E when you start it up and go in?
Yeah.
Okay. So like you would be like if you put in like no mode set. in there, what happens there?
Well, yeah, the same thing actually. I have been through the grub. I've rubbed off the nose splash and the quiet boot, all that kind of business. See what's going on.
And what GPU are you using?
The GPU is actually the built-in Intel. It's an i5, so it's a built-in GPU.
The only other thing that you're going to be messing with is where it says grub command line Linux default, and you'll see it equals either quiet splash, etc., etc. And basically, you might actually be able to start it there, but you're going to mess around with it in that section.
I did take those there, but I don't know. Yeah, ED mode set. You're quite right.
Hey guys,
I've tried those things. I build my own distro. Like I'm the Trinity on PC Linux OS guy. Cousin Tom's in the chat if you have a look.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been through all the grub. It boots up EFI. It doesn't even let me allow to use legacy booters. Pure EFI. The pain in the backside in itself. But it's my build machine. But it's okay. It's fine. I can use it in VirtualBox. Yeah, I can boot any distro in VirtualBox. Not a problem.
Right. Yeah, that's weird that even off a USB stick though it doesn't work. That's strange.
Not a USB stick. I've even burnt DVDs. Nope.
Okay, and what is like how many gigs of RAM do you have? Just by curiosity.
Hey guys,
Sorry.
I'm going to step away for a second. You guys continue this conversation. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, then. No problem. No, it's got 8 gigs of RAM and there's a 500 gig SATA 3 in there.
Okay, 3 gigs of RAM?
No, 4.
4. Okay, so it's probably okay, so there's how old is this computer?
It's I'm trying to think of the name of the chip, but it's an i5's. I haven't got it in a minute. The one I'm on at the moment is a Haswell. It's 2 iterations before that. But it's built around about 2014, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
so 5 years old.
I'm going to guess though. I mean, just from what you've told me, that you definitely have a hardware issue going on. Like there's something in your hardware. Like everything else, it's already. Like you would already have had the development in the kernel, so you should have like the software, everything in the kernel, everything. So everything should work out of the box. There's something going on with there's a failure in some of your hardware or something. Or the only other thing that I can think of is your hard drive is completely spent, and you're just trying.
I swapped my hard drive. I did swap my hard drive. That was one of the first things I thought of. Okay. That still wouldn't explain why it wouldn't pick up the USB.
Yeah, if you're using Live Medium, it doesn't access the hard drive at all.
No, you're right.
Yeah. It's just something quirky with it in the EFI, I reckon.
It could be, some issue with the firmware.
There's Windows 10 loaded on it. No problem at all, actually. Obviously my OS will load on it because that uses SysFree. Anything Gen 2 that compiled on it, no problem.
Hey guys, even though I upgraded to Zoom Pro, which should extend this meeting past 40 minutes, I just signed up right before this stream. I guess it hasn't taken effect yet. We're on a timer. In 5 minutes, this meeting will end.
Okay.
But that's fine. Yeah, I'll just create a new meeting when it kicks us off, so no big deal.
Okay.
And then we'll be on another 40-minute timer. So.
Okay. Yeah, Paul, in the chat there, it says I could pull up legacy. Now, there's no legacy BIOS. If I boot a USB that is legacy only, that means it has no UEFI partition, it automatically goes into a legacy mode. If it senses an EFI partition, it will boot in EFI mode. There's no actual switch inside the actual machine itself for it.
Yeah. Here, let me
update the BIOS just in case.
Yeah, that's strange. How old is this machine?
Yeah, it's about 4 years old, Dad. About
4 years
old.
Wow.
It's not that old. It's a Fujitsu machine. It's a nice size. It's got 8 gig of RAM. It's maxed out at 8 gig, actually, strangely enough. The Dell I'm on now is maxed at 16.
Yeah.
Maxed at 8 gig RAM. It's got a spinning rust in there. Not an SSD. It's 500 gigabyte spinning rust. Quite a new one. Not a problem. Quite fast, actually. That's why I built on it.
Well, I mean, luckily it runs your distro, so and other non-systemd distros. So at least if you got options, you can always run Gen 2 or Gen 2 based distros.
MX Linux in sysv mode boots fine, even though it's got system boot underneath that. That'll boot.
Yeah, MX offers you the choice of using sysv or systemd, doesn't it?
That's about the only one with systemd inside that will boot is MX. And I quite like MX, to be honest. They do an amazing job, to be fair. That's kind of crafting that distro.
Of course, you could always run Antics. Antics doesn't use systemd.
Yeah, you still have a few different options. That's weird that systemd though distros don't work. That's strange.
Strangely enough, though, in truth, the early systemd distros, when Debian first went systemd, it did boot. It's only the later iterations that are not booting on it. Now, yeah, it's only the later iterations. So what's happening? I don't know. Truthfully, don't know.
Sure.
Have you filed a bug report for systemd?
Yes, I have. Yes, I do. And I've had nothing back off it yet. I think they think I am mad.
You heard nothing back? I mean, they didn't even respond to your bug report?
To be honest, I filed it. I looked a few days later. I heard nothing back. I left it alone.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem with bug reporting.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done the same thing. If you report something as a bug and you don't hear back from them like within a week, I mean, by then you've already moved on. So
yeah,
right. So yeah, I hate that when they take forever to get back on a bug.
Reports, when I file bug reports, I usually try to go as detailed as possible, and then assume they're going to get back to me right away.
Well, there's not much detail I can put in apart from like it boots. It could boot the kernel, and when it goes to where it says starting. That's just like starting the init. That is it. I mean, after that, it's just a kernel dump. I supplied them with that as a text file.
When you try to load a systemd distro, can you get into the TTY at all?
No. It doesn't boot as far as even.
If he's getting a kernel panic, it won't do anything.
Because
All right.
We haven't even started unit 1 at that point.
Okay. Because sometimes, like, it'll still be trying to load and you can get to the TTY sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate that, yeah. Now I do see what you're saying, yeah. I could have gone into unit 1 and had a look and gone into log.
After that, you could definitely show them your outputs. They definitely know what was going on. But you can't even show them your outputs at this point.
Yeah, there's no kind of log or anything he can share with them. So
no, the login isn't turned on at that point. Login's way down the list of priority for it.
Well, guys, this meeting is going to end in about 1 minute, so I'm going to go ahead and kill it. That way, it doesn't kill somebody mid-sentence, and I'm going to start a new one.
Okay.
You copied it?
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat in just a second. Alright, and we are back up. Let me copy the URL. And the new URL is in the chat. And I will try to edit the description of the video as well. So anybody joining and clicking on the link in the description. And hopefully that'll take effect in a minute or two. So new people that join the stream will have the correct link. Alright. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting that I upgraded to Zoom Pro, but I still was on a timer. But again, I just upgraded like right before this stream, so. And I didn't reboot my machine or anything. Zoom may have had some background processes still running from the last time I used it. So, it has been sitting in my sys tray, so I probably should have rebooted my machine.
Other than weird hardware issues, I'm definitely for distros that have other options other than System D for those who, for some reason, require something different.
Yeah.
Options aren't always a bad thing.
Right. Well, I like options too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should just have one init system, but it's the how people get angry over this debate about System D. You know, some people are really invested in this in a way I don't understand.
Getting overly invested in, let's say, free software, I can understand a bit more, but an init system,
yeah. Yeah, there's so many other things we need to be focusing on right now. Like, can we get a new graphics server? I mean, can we get rid of X? And they've been working on Wayland now for 10 years. Still not ready.
Personally, I don't get wrapped up in anything.
Yeah.
To be told, because it's all pointless, and I use both Windows, Linux, because one works for one thing, other works for other thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main deal. If, let's say, I play games that aren't on Linux, I will use Windows.
Right.
If I program, I probably use Linux. And that's how I use it. And I don't really think about if it's proprietary, open source. If I need that software, I will use it. End of story.
Yeah, you use what works. That's what one of my taglines. I say it all the time. Use what works.
Actually, I was actually talking with some company guys, and they told me that if they right now switch to Linux, it would cost them more to actually switch to Linux than to rebuy all Windows licenses and all licenses for software.
You know where they get that from? They got that from Microsoft. That is what Microsoft tells people.
No, it was, they were actually doing some numbers, running some numbers. It was because of all the retraining you have to do, all the, and hours, and whole company wouldn't work. It would create them bigger minus than if they bought everything again. They were doing like
probably the training cost. I get that, but I mean they had to pay.
Like huge.
They had to train everybody on Windows at some point too.
Mostly now because everybody uses Windows at home. It was the initial cost but right now they switched, it will cost them more because everybody knows Windows, and to teach them Linux and new software, it would cost them really, really much. It happens, sadly.
Can I ask a serious question here, and that's when Windows updates from one desktop to another, 7 to 10, just today, you have to retrain in that new desktop because Microsoft moves everything. So how is that different from learning a slightly different UI in a different operating system?
I was actually in the company at the time. Actually, they didn't actually retrain them for Windows 10 because they waited a year. So basically, most of them actually knew Windows 10 already. And
so they retrained themselves at home because they
actually was the guy who updated all the computers. So I know what was happening, and all people know what they were doing. Even I actually asked them if they needed any help, and all of them knew what they were doing.
It is a valid question, though. I mean, the change from 7 to 10 is a drastic change. I mean, that's certainly a more drastic change than, say, moving people from Windows 7 to Ubuntu Mate. You know, I would think most people would be fine with the Mate desktop in a way that they wouldn't be fine with Windows 10 if they've never seen it before.
Actually, the main problem with all the move was because of the software, because there is no software like they use on Linux and
Microsoft Office
software, and we train them. It's not Office. It's some proprietary software. I don't really know. I never really got wrapped up in that part. I just know that they searched wide and never found any any on Linux.
Yeah, when you go out there and check out what businesses are using, you know, some of them have their own custom programs that they're running, proprietary programs, and sometimes those things are designed for Windows only, of course, but even specific versions of Windows. I've seen companies that still have to run Windows 98 because this one program that they have to run has to have Windows 98.
At that point, I actually say security issues, and they should just scrap it because security is actually more important than usability.
Yeah.
Good. So in short term, I can see it costing more to retrain people on to use Linux, but in the long term, which one still more cost effective in the long term?
Yeah, in long term, it is cost effective, but a short-term problem is that they'll have to stop operations for like a week. That's the most problem they have. Because in that time, they'll have to retrain everyone, and that week could be crucial. That's the problem they have.
You know, just recently I was taking a look at a brand new laptop with a friend, with my brother-in-law, and he had Windows 10 on it, and he was trying to figure out like how to like install the video and the audio drivers, and I couldn't figure it out. And I'm sure I could have Googled it, but he was like, "Well, you use Linux, right?" And it's like, just put that on there. So yeah, I downloaded a brand new, you know, distro, brand new version of Manjaro, and he's just like tickled pink with it.
Well, we definitely have it easy compared to Windows on some things. Think about printer drivers. You know, when's the last time you had to worry about a printer driver in Linux?
Actually,
you haven't.
I tried to install a printer driver on Linux for an hour and couldn't get it running. But
what kind of printer?
HP, like it's
really
like 10 years old.
Because HP has great Linux support.
On Windows, I just plug in the USB cable and it installs drivers itself.
Huh.
Yeah, because usually HP is fantastic as far as Linux.
Yeah, HP has been really good. The thing is, though, is in Ubuntu, if you have a binary package that is in conflict with the binary package that is installed, you're going to have problems installing your printer on that particular distro. You can't have conflicting binary packages. That's the only thing.
Actually, I even had problems installing Wi-Fi card. Actually, like, funny thing is, I was installing Wi-Fi card on live USB. It got internet via Wi-Fi.
Well, there was a reason I brought up printer drivers and not Wi-Fi drivers. So Wi-Fi drivers are still a sore spot for
really
for some people. Yeah.
I choose that third party, install that party, and it installed everything okay over Wi-Fi. I rebooted, no Wi-Fi driver. No. I reinstalled using Ethernet cable. Same chose third party, installed Wi-Fi drivers.
The only problem with Wi-Fi drivers is the only chips that are a real problem are those Broadcom chips.
Yeah.
And that's the one that pretty much, that's the problem. Every single laptop manufacturer uses that thing. So that's
route you can go, and that's NDisruptor, where you use the Windows Wi-Fi driver in Linux, and it does work actually quite fine. It's like a layer. If like I've had no trouble with NDisruptor on any machine that doesn't have.
So it's the Windows driver and like a Linux wrapper. Is it Wine or what's it?
No. It takes the abstract part of the driver and it inserts it into a Linux kernel. So it looks to Linux, it looks like a native driver at the end of the day. And it will just use that, But most distros will have NDisruptor, mainly in the repo now because it is old technology, because the Wi-Fi drivers have come on that much with Linux nowadays that 90% of Wi-Fi will just work. As you said, the Broadcom ones are the ones that do have the issues. But if you have RA or Intel or whoever, they seem to just work out the box.
Yeah.
Hopefully my next laptop drivers work okay.
Yeah, most Wi-Fi drivers do actually work if you go non-free. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't really
problem.
care
Like,
if it's free or
you're
not free.
going to, like, have like
I
a
just want to
pure
work.
solution. Like I tried Parabola on my laptop and it won't work. The Wi-Fi won't work. Why? Because I have a non-free Wi-Fi driver, and that's just common sense. But most drivers, probably 98% of the drivers out there have at least a non-free driver under Linux. So
yeah.
Hopefully my next laptop will work. I don't care if
Are
it's free
you
or
a
not free
non-free
driver.
user? I mean, are you like a purist user?
No, I don't really care for free, non-free, open source, closed source. And for me, it's just a bit weird.
No, that's fine. I mean, because I'm the same way.
Is concerned. If something's working and it's non-free, use it. It's that same as Nvidia. A lot of people are using the built-in NV driver on the kernel because it's free, instead of downloading the proper Nvidia driver and having all the glory out of it. I can't see the problem with that personally.
Yeah, I mean, I like free and open source, but there's some things like, I'm not going to spend, $500-600 on a Nvidia card and then use the Nouveau driver. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to install the proprietary driver.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't use my laptop if it weren't for proprietary drivers. I mean, I just couldn't do it. It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
My laptop is also usable without the proprietary drivers, except for my Wi-Fi card. I even tried to use only distro so far I've had trouble getting installed was Debian. I even picked the ISO that has the proprietary stuff enabled.
Yeah.
And it detects my Wi-Fi card at that point, but then when I go to install, it suddenly disconnects and right at a crucial point where it still needs to connect to the internet to properly set up the config for the repos. So when it does go through the install, I don't have my repository stuff set up, nor do I have a Wi-Fi card stuff to work anymore.
Yeah.
So
I had that
even
problem
with the proprietary stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what I did to fix it, but I had that problem once.
And I've had that problem more than once.
Any problem with HP, Linux,
Well,
and HP
I don't use
laptops?
Debian very often, so I'm sorry.
No,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I put in
Linux on HP. Anyone use Linux on HP laptops?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Linux runs fine on HP.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, HP as a company is really good about Linux support. All their products, drives and printers, computers, it just works with Linux. So
I'm gonna probably buy their gaming laptop.
No problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
You would definitely should Google the specs though, just to make sure. Google the particular laptop you're thinking of buying.
Yeah, HP is one of the best companies, though, as far as computer companies, where Linux is kind of treated as a first-class citizen. So you'll have no problem with.
Yeah,
and the laptop I'm using is an HP, and I still have that issue.
I used HP, but it broke, so now I'm going for a new laptop, and I think of buying one of their gaming laptops with 1060 graphics card, Nvidia, so I can game and school and work.
Yeah. Well, that's what I use for my main production machine here. We're using a 1060, so it's a good card.
Yeah.
This will include 2 lots of Nvidia drivers in my distro. I have the latest one and I have the 340 drivers. They go back. It's pretty much load.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got pretty lucky on my laptop though. I bought this Dell i7-5559, which is basically it's an i7. It has the M.2 slot in it and stuff. It's really fast.
Yeah,
I bought it for $500, so I did pretty
not bad.
At the moment, I'm using on this channel right now. I'm using a Dell Latitude and E7440 and E7440. Yeah, M2 slot.
I almost bought that laptop.
It's a nice days. It is so Linux friendly. So there's nothing I put on this machine that has a place.
Hold up.
Silent reboot wasn't silent.
Yeah, silent reboot. Yeah, you had to mute you there for a second. There's some crazy noise coming through. You unmute you. You there, Silent? No, I guess he's trying to.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Very cool.
You're coming in a lot better.
Is off.
Yeah. Hey, Silent, what do you run?
I'm on a Core i7.
Oh, as far as distro.
Oh, I'm on OpenSUSE at the moment, Tumbleweed.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
It is very, very cool. It's very fast.
How stable is Tumbleweed?
Extremely stable.
Really?
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
That's one distro that I've been thinking about, like, just taking a serious look at. But
yeah, I should too. I
should.
Well, I'm quad booting at the moment. I'm running Arch, Dragonfly BSD.
Oh, wow.
OpenSUSE, and Calculate.
Wow.
I like the hardcore distros.
The Dragon BSD is a very nice BSD to use, actually.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Dragonfly, but I've thought about doing something on the channel with Dragonfly. People have asked about it.
Is my volume okay on the mic?
Yeah, your volume's fine.
That's good.
On my backup disk, I have 8 boot partitions, basically 8 OSs.
Now, I did run Calculate Linux on my main production machine here for about a week and a half. I ended up having to hop. Well, I didn't have to hop, but I had a problem with the update that broke Xorg. So, and that was the week. Yeah, and that was the week before all the 1804 releases were being dropped. So I went ahead and pulled Lubuntu 1804 down and installed Lubuntu after that. So I didn't try to fix the Xorg problem. I'm sure I could have.
Yeah.
But Calculate's a really neat distro.
No, Calculate's.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I've been meaning to take a look at it. I haven't tried. Yeah, there was one distro that I almost could get to work. I can't get the fan. I need to install either NBFC or i8, and I couldn't install neither one of those. But I was in what was that? That was Void Linux. I really liked that. I really did like it though. But there was, and then my OBS had a conflict with my Nvidia graphics card driver, and it wouldn't the screen recording and everything just was like totally off. I can't really describe but it was like it didn't even. Like I was recording the screen for a video and it just totally took a crap on me. And I looked at my outputs and it was definitely an Nvidia issue.
Very strange. What driver was that? Was that proprietary or open source?
Oh, proprietary for sure.
Yeah.
Was it 390 or was it through the 396 one?
I think it was a 390. I can't remember, to be honest. This was a while ago, so it might have been the 396.
Well, 390.57's released now, isn't it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess so. Let me see.
If you're on Arch, you probably can already get it.
Let me see. I'll tell you.
Well, it's just updated from 390.48 to 390.57.
Let's see what I got installed. I'm just.
I've had no trouble with that on Ubuntu either now.
Yeah, it hasn't showed up on my system yet. I update my computer every day, so it hasn't showed up. But
yeah, I always wait a week or two between updates. I never update every day.
Yeah.
I like things to sit a bit before I do an update, especially with an Arch-based distro.
I don't know. I don't ever have any problem with update.
I normally wait for
and if I have a problem, I can always just downgrade.
Yeah. I like other people to tell me things break before I you know. I don't want to be the first one in.
Well, like I said, I can't remember the last time I've ever had a package break in Arch. I got to be honest, I don't remember.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah, I can't remember it, and like I said, I update my computer every day almost, and I can't remember. What I will say is I do have a problem sometimes when there's a conflict when either Pacman or GCC upgrades, and there's a conflict, and it won't install, like it won't upgrade. So like Pacman will upgrade theoretically, but the GCC won't upgrade yet, and so it won't actually do the full upgrade.
There's normally a few steps to do before that, isn't there? There's a few prerequisites you have to follow.
Yeah. No, it's not a big deal. It's just, I mean, you actually, the only thing that you have to do is just to check the package build, and you can alter it through there. It's really easy.
Well, it's easy if you know what you're doing, you know.
Yes.
Again, for the new user, when they pull up a terminal and try to run the command to update the system, if nothing happens, they're going to think their machine is hosed. I mean, they're going to start freaking out.
Yeah.
It's easy if you can read.
Right. Yeah.
That's what the Arch Wiki's for.
Yeah. RTFM, huh?
Yeah. You know, but the thing is, you know, it's cool to say that, but, you know, you kind of have to learn how to read the Arch Wiki.
Right. Yeah, it's more than just reading. It's also kind of the mindset of, okay, my machine is broke. I'm going to fix it. You know, you have to be prepared to, you know.
Yeah, because like at first when I started reading the Arch Wiki, it's like they would have certain symbols and stuff that I didn't get, you know, like when they were talking about like, you know, going to SDA, and then they would have like X or Y or this and that. And, you know, at first, you know, that was kind of like a little confusing, but, you know, after a while, I kind of got it. You know, it just took me like, you know, sitting down and just thinking about it.
I got so annoyed with having to sudo ls block to get the block devices listed. So I wrote an alias which bypasses the need to sudo. It will just list it for me, and it will give me the UUID.
Yeah, I got 20 different aliases, I think, on Arch Linux, and I think I would do that on any distro anyway. I think if I was like running Ubuntu, I would probably, you know, just like, you know, like I'd probably have like all the same commands. Like I'd probably like run like sp as sudo pacman -s, you know, just how you install it. I'd probably have that same command on Ubuntu too. You know, just write the alias in your bash RC.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. You know, I upload all my config files to GitLab now. Used to GitHub. Yeah. And yeah, no matter what distro I'm running, I've got the same, you know, bash. So.
That was crazy, though. I couldn't believe that GitHub was bought out by Microsoft. That's crazy.
No.
I guess $7 billion will get you a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well.
People don't really care if Microsoft has GitHub. Actually, even use Microsoft's own Visual Studio Team services for Git, because I used to use Visual Studio, but I found it that it's easiest to use, and since then I still use it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I love
funny people were using a proprietary system to host open source code.
Right. GitHub was never open source anyway, so.
No,
to be honest, if this pushes people to use an open source platform, then okay, which makes sense to host open source code.
Well, it was funny the next day, like right when the announcement that Microsoft had closed that deal, if you went to GitLab.com, like the home page, there was a picture with like balloons falling, and it said, "Congratulations, GitHub." And I was like, man, they're about to make a ton of money, and they know it because they got like 10 times the amount of traffic that day than they normally did because of everybody moving to GitLab.
Dude, like I bet you they were crapping themselves for about 3 days.
Their servers were melting down. Their servers were.
It's just like, what's going on? Yeah, I actually, you know, when that happened, I opened up a GitLab account. I haven't transferred anything over. I just have like all of my what do you call it? My my scripts for installing Arch and installing different things. I don't have it. Oh, and I am actually kind of working on a desktop with OpenBox, but it's not like anything. I only have the skeleton of that written in code, so it's.
Yeah, the good thing about GitLab is they have tools to import all your stuff from GitHub. They make that process real easy, like a couple of minutes, and you're done. All your stuff is already up. Yeah,
Does GitLab have the open or free private repositories?
Does GitLab
have private repositories, free ones?
Yeah, you don't have to pay on GitLab for that.
Right.
Okay, that's one reason I use VSTS, free private repositories, because my code is horrible.
And a lot of their paid services
and bad, so I don't want to use any public stuff because I don't want people laughing at me.
Yeah. When GitHub was bought, GitLab dropped the price or even made some of their paid services free right after that to try to get even more people over to GitLab. So if you're looking at any of the's paid services right now, now's a good time to get in.
Yeah.
So
they made it free for open source projects.
Yeah.
So let me ask just a quick question. I'm just kind of curious. Like me, after I started using Linux, I really became interested in learning how to code. I wonder how many people are kind of in that boat. Like they've been really wanting to learn more about computer programming.
I know enough to be dangerous in certain programming languages. Like I can get around it. Well, Python. I can do some simple scripting in Python. Bash scripting. As far as now web development, I'm good with PHP and JavaScript and those sorts of things. But for a lot of the stuff you'd write stuff for like desktop apps, Python's the only one I'm comfortable with at all.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious, it's like, because it's like once I started seeing what was like going under the hood, what was under the hood, it really piqued my curiosity. I don't know how many people have that.
Yeah, but I'm not a developer, so it's not my line of work. Some of these other guys, they probably are fine with C and C++, and
I'm good at C# and some C++ for school, but otherwise I'm just C# because I used to be Windows and I developed just for Windows. Now, thankfully, Microsoft made the open source version of .NET Framework, the .NET Core, and I can use it on use programs on Linux written in C#.
Yeah.
At least something open source for Microsoft.
I read up on Haskell just enough to where I could write my Xmonad config, and that took weeks to get. Haskell is such a weird language.
Yeah, it is. That actually, that's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I've messed around quite a bit with Xmonad. It's one of my favorite stacking desktops, but God, it's like one of those things where it really does kind of like wear on your patience sometimes.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Xmonad, you're right. It's such a fantastic window manager. Very fast, light, very configurable. Yeah. I do multi-monitors. It's the best window manager for multi-monitors there is. It's just a beast to configure.
What is your opinion on BSPWM?
I haven't looked at it.
Oh.
I haven't looked at it.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've just played, but
I've had a lot of suggestions to take a look at it. I'm doing this list of window managers I'm taking a look at. Yeah. I had a list of 12 I was going to review on the channel, and I've already done 10 of the 12. I've got 2 more to do, i3 and Ice Window Manager. And then after that, since people have requested it, I'm going to look at BSP, I'm going to look at DWM. Yeah. Got one guy bugging the hell out of me about rat poison. I may or may not. Yeah.
Stop with the rat poison, man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like 3 people used rat poison when I started using Linux.
I started using Linux on the desktop about 10 years ago, and rat poison was kind of a dead project then. So
Yeah.
if this guy's asking about it now,
And those 3 people still are.
yeah, it's probably the same people. Yeah, the devs, the rat poison devs.
Oh my god. Yeah, no kidding, right? They want some props, man.
Yeah.
They want some love, bro.
DWM's very good.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at DWM.
Yeah, DWM is really good. Actually, that's on my spin. That's one of them that I'm actually.
When you edit the config, you're editing a config.h, so you have to recompile the binary.
Yeah.
Each time you make a change, but that's what makes it solid. You're not putting in any external config.
Yeah, and
so once it's done, you're just using the binary there and then. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of a toss up on my spin whether or not I wanted to use BSPWM or DWM, and DWM has the least amount of just like BSPWM goes all over the place, and DWM just has like 3 or 4 files. And so I'm using ArchISO to make my spin, and so that's really easy to just kind of port in and be done with it. No problem.
Well, guys, we're on a time limit again, so
that was
straight. Yeah, that 40 minutes went quick, didn't it?
Yeah, you got quick, got it.
Sure, got quick.
Yeah, so we got about 8 or 9 minutes, but we'll probably kill the stream after this time limit runs out. So we'll talk just a few more minutes, and then I'll shut down the stream.
Cool.
Yeah.
As far as tiling window managers, the first one I ever used was Awesome. That was the first, and that was years ago. But I really liked Awesome. I don't like how it handles multi-monitors as much as I like stuff like Xmonad. Awesome, each monitor has its own set of workspaces, where I like each monitor having assigned a workspace, and when you switch one, they just switch instead of each monitor having its own collection of workspaces, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seems confusing to me.
Yeah.
i3 is very good with multi-monitor.
Right.
Very good.
Well, I'll find out soon. So.
Yeah. Everybody likes i3, and i3 is just about as I don't know. I've never got into it, and it just seemed like it was like way too complicated for what they were offering. So because you have like DWM, which you can get up and running in about 10 minutes, and then you can really you can really Frankenstein it, but you're not going to be there for 3 weeks trying to figure out how to set it up.
And a lot of people ask me that is like, why don't I give i3 a try? Why am I playing around with Qtile and Xmonad? It's because I've already went through the trouble of writing the config files for Qtile and Xmonad. I haven't written an i3 config. So you're right, I would have to spend, a couple of weeks trying to figure out, how to set up everything. And why do that? To basically get the desktop I already have. I'm basically going to mimic what I'm already doing. So
well, here's another one for you, Derek. Speaking of Frankenstein, there's one called FrankenWN, which is a fork of DWM.
Yep.
That's a bit of a nightmare to get working.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody request me to do that one, so I'm glad you brought that up.
And ADWM as well.
Yeah, I actually tried that about a month ago.
Which ADWM?
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. There's so much conflict with that one.
Yeah. There's a few stacking window managers that are just like what was the one I was taking a look at? I don't even remember which one it was I was taking a look at recently, but it was a nightmare, man. It was I gave up.
Yeah.
But i3 is like one of those things where like I have a config file for Xmonad, which I never used, but it took me a while to get that going.
One I looked at a couple of weeks ago on the channel, Herbst Luft.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I won't say it's a bad tiling window manager, but it was interesting. It's strange. Just it's, instead of like your predefined layouts, like you have on something like Xmonad, how you create this space that a window might go in at some point in the future and then put a window in it. It was weird. I'm not sure how I like that.
That's why I like i3, because you can go for either or and a combination of. You can either have it full tiling or floating. Any combination of that you want.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like there's no, like you can split, you know, the way the window is divided however you want. You can do it, you know, on the fly, dynamically.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I'm old school. I just want the same layout. If I select, you know, a grid layout, I just want the windows to appear, you know, in the same place every time. I'm not trying to do something, you know, on the fly. Here, move this window here or that, you know, resize it, split it in half.
Wow, your guys next level.
Yeah.
For me, it's just OpenBox and GNOME, and that's it.
No, I love OpenBox.
Yeah.
I love OpenBox.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I tried LXQT a while ago, and I don't know why I didn't like it, but when I tried OpenBox, I loved it. I mean, when I just sat down and just like installed OpenBox on Arch, I just loved it.
Yeah. Well, guys, since we just have a couple of minutes here, I want everybody to get a chance to say something before the stream ends. So, Siva, you got anything to say on our way out here? You there? No, Big Pod.
I am there, but my
Siva?
my phone
Okay.
is
Okay, that's cool.
But I tried i3. I used it for several months. One of the biggest issues I had was getting things to show up in the menu. I had to add things to my bin, like the shell script, and add it to my bin.
Oh. All right, Big Pod. You got any last word?
Just saying DT, because of you, I started using Arch, and I basically fall in love with it. Thanks, man.
Arch is great. Yeah.
We love Arch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd still be using Linux if it wasn't for Arch. I just.
Oh, I would be. Yeah.
I mean, I think
if I had to use Linux from scratch, I would rather than go back to Windows.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I mean, like I like Ubuntu now, but like I was really frustrated with like Ubuntu 14 and 16. But
hey, Michael, you got anything to give on the way out here?
Just that I'm really enjoying KDE. I had been trying GNOME, and I tried KDE last week after the new version came out. That's one of the reasons I switched to Manjaro.
I would agree. Yeah. KDE is less horrible than GNOME. I agree. All right.
Yes. You won't hear any argument from any of us.
Present.
Yeah, yeah. When you get around to the IWM, enjoy it. It is a nice little Windows manager. Very configurable. I did like IWM. So
yeah,
enjoy it.
I bet I'll like it. Shaston.
Oh, I just want to tell everybody stay awesome.
Very cool. Silent Reboot, you there, sir?
Yeah, very good.
Any last words?
Oh, just a great stream. Thanks for the chat.
All right. I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out. We've probably got another minute before it kills this meeting here, but before I go, I do need to give a special thanks to all my patrons. A special thanks to David, Carlos, Nick, Daniel, Brian, Leor, AK Ron, Keith, Dan, Michael, Tony, Bruno, David, Mike, Silvio, Omar, Mark, Mr. Neely Pops, John, Carl, Greg, Rob, Matt, Christian, Tiedemann, Stephen Z, Eduardo, Alex, Jake, Benjamin, Stephen B, Marcus, Interceptor, Tubella, Humade, Paul, Chuck, and Ben. You guys are awesome. You guys help make this show possible. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Adios.
Nos vemos.